everyone, and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, hello. If you're old here, thank you for sticking around. I'm trying to get through a few topics that I've asked on social media. What would you like to see next? And nursery information and starting school was the most voted. I think from the following, that's kind of mainly my following on Instagram, is about the next steps of starting nursery. And honestly, I'm always very honest, it's something that scares the absolute hell out of me. Amelia doesn't go to nursery yet. She's only 20 months old, and just the thought of it really scares me. So I actually did do some digging and did some research and things, and there's so much on the CF Trust that I think could really help you.
Mommy, can I have this blue quiz up here?
Sorry about that. So I have a 5-year-old as well, and I have Amelia. My 5-year-old is in reception year now. I'm going to go into year 1 this year. I can't believe it. But yeah, it's always been something that's really scared me. The thought of sending Amelia to school, all of the infections, the winter bugs, the summer bugs, chicken pox, the usual child infections and germs and things like that, as well as environmental. Like when she's in my care, I can control what she stays away from, what she plays with, etc, etc. Whereas at school, you're putting your faith into the teachers to keep their eye on her in what she's playing with and what she's doing, trips, all of that kind of stuff. And I went onto the CF Trust website, and I did find this really helpful to actually start researching into. Still fills me with anxiety, but I know the school will have this information and be able to sit and read it and hopefully work with us as a family and Amelia, not treating her any different, but just keeping that extra eye on her, really. So I've printed out 2 things to kind of show you what is actually available. So the first thing that I actually did find was a whole booklet for families in starting school. It has got so much information in here, like for the... Oh, that's upside down, never mind. So much for families. There's education policies across the UK, preschool, nursery, worries about risk and infections, coughs, colds, environmental risks, cross-infection rules, crayon and diet, top tips, registered childminders, and then this is primary school, so it's like looking for a school, the individual healthcare plans, which I have also downloaded the form to show you. I don't know why that's come out black and white, that's in colour, I don't know. To me and technology are not the greatest friends. But yeah, so I just thought I would show you a few things that actually I found really, really helpful. So basically, communication is key. And just saying basically policies and legislation laws in place to ensure that your child have the same access to education in school experiences as their peers. Parents, schools and CF teams often communicate and work well together. So there's usually no need for any reference of policies or the laws. So hopefully our experiences will be experiencing difficulties, understanding your rights is important. So yeah, that's kind of that. I do know, having spoken to the CF team about the time of when she does go to preschool, they actually do school visits, and I think that's quite a common thing within CF teams. The respiratory nurses or social worker or whoever will go into the school, and if the school's got any questions that they want to know about it, or about the care for your specific child, because it does differ, it really does differ, and I think that's what scares me a little bit. It just scares me, the whole preschool nursery. Honestly, as you can probably tell in my voice, like even just looking at this like gives me Ooh. Because you're literally handing over your care to your children, especially when it comes to like Creon and environmental factors and things like that. I get really anxious. Are they going to watch her, you know? So preschool and nursery. So literally, that's what that says. Gives you a lot of information about starting, making sure they're socialising, but also more needs sort of, well, here we go, coughs, colds, infections and things like that, how to kind of prevent them or, you know, put things in place as well. Again, cross infections. CF children cannot meet. This is because of the cross infection rules. Infection in the lungs is harmful. So it literally explains to you absolutely everything. So why it's important, why they can't meet. It literally breaks everything down. I mean, this is 28 pages. It's 14 pages, but it's front and back. 28 pages. I also did find a fact sheet as well for schools. There's actual parent experiences, top tips, yeah, obviously Creon and diet as well. It's very important, obviously, for lunch times and things. And with CF children, they get hungry a little bit easier, I feel. So, you know, it's really handy for them to understand that. Also with going to the toilet, I saw in one of the documents about, because again this differs, but I know Amelia's stool absolutely stinks all the time, and it is something that I worry about her being bullied about at school and things. And in these packs, somewhere in these packs, I did read that they put please make sure that there's air freshener in there all the time to kind of, you know, help. I know it's probably catch-22, you know, air freshener, lungs, but, you know, getting rid of the smell and things like that. Just toilet hygiene, I think. Information on actually looking for a school is all in here. Applying for school, and then it comes to the individual healthcare plans. Starting school, the first day, again, about communication, diet, infection risk. There's a lot. It sounds like it's very repetitive, but it's not. Like, if you read something loads of times, then it sticks, you know. And it also gets the message across that how important this is. And I think that's where your CF teams really come in handy, because to hear from an actual healthcare professional that has a lot to do with their care, I do feel that is more of a, okay, this is serious, like you need to take this in. Attendance as well, obviously. Getting poorly more often, hospital stays, appointments, CF clinics and things like that. So yeah, that's all in there as well, about attendance and school. Then it just tells you some looking ahead, getting the most out of school, overnight and sleepovers. It's even got a section for that. So, you know, I know me and my cousin used to have sleepovers all the time. She'd be popping a Creon here and everywhere. And I'd be like, what's that? I remember she having the capsules, and then, like, when she was younger, she still struggled to, like, swallow them. So she used to, like, peel them open and then just pour it in her mouth. And I always remember a distinctive smell of the Creon. Yeah, I'm sorry, that's just a memory that just popped into my head. Resolving difficulties, basically. So if the school has any concerns or anything, or they've been complaining about bellyache or feeling unwell, or you know, a good communication with the school is vital, I find. And I am so lucky that I think that Alfie School will be absolutely perfect for Amelia. It's such a small school. There's one class of every year group. So I feel like you know, I already have a good relationship with his teacher so far, and I hope that that carries on into the years. And actually his teacher does know about Amelia, and she'll always say to me, oh, there's a chest infection going around at the moment. She has severe asthma, so I know I always say don't compare it to asthma, but when they have a respiratory, you know, thing that's similar to CF, it does help a little bit of understanding on, like, this is serious, like, you need to let me know. So she does. She's like, there's ear infections, there's chest infections. Alfie. School holidays, eh? So yeah, definitely communication. So next, top tips from parents, for parents, from parents. Don't be afraid to persevere if you feel you aren't being heard. Stand your ground. Most importantly, build good communication with staff and school at your child's school, which I've just spoken about. Don't forget that your CF team are there to help you. Speak to them if you have any concerns about your child's health at school. You know, hopefully it doesn't come to that, but, you know, that's, you know, it's always good. I tell you what, this booklet is really, really helpful. It really, really is. And it's got the lovely little girl on the front, look. It's great. So there's also the individual healthcare plan as well. That's there as well. And these are all available to download on the CF Trust website. I will pop the link into the bottom of the description here, just so you can download them, fill them in online if you want, and then either print them out or email them over. But it literally tells you everything. Family communication, that's not double-sided, that's probably why that's black and white. I don't know. Again, all about cystic fibrosis. It has it on the actual form as well. So physio activities, what time and how long, notes about it, physical activity is really good for children's lungs because it helps to dislodge mucus, build lung capacity and help them to be generally fit and healthy. Infection control, and then it literally, like, every point, it gives you a description of why it's important, and I think that's bloody amazing. I think that's great. Children with cystic fibrosis may be prescribed antibiotics to treat chest infections or to prevent a chest infection. Sometimes antibiotics will need to be taken during school time, so there's like a table for you to write on. Storage, time, dose, administration, so who administers it, and any notes that they need to take. Really, really helpful. Again, cross-infection. So that's kind of saying if there's anybody else in the school who has CF. And then the Big Daddy, the crayon table for that as well. So you can write if you're putting the lunch in, you know, this for this, this for this.
Mommy, look at me.
Oh, very good. That's good cleaning. Diet. Just saying about they may need higher fat diet compared to other children, and salt balance as well. You know, we add salt into our food as normal. Toileting. I think this is where I saw it. Yeah, sometimes children with CF need to go to the toilet urgently and may complain of having a sore tummy just before going to the toilet. To help reduce anxiety and embarrassment, it's helpful if the school can have a plan in place to ensure the child can quickly access the toilet when needed. They may also spend a longer time in the toilet than other children. Some children, especially older children, may appreciate access to an air freshener in the toilet. So that was something that I did actually think about and worry about a little bit. So yeah.
Mommy, look at my hand. It's in the glass.
Child's understanding of CF. So it's useful to discuss, like, if your child understands their CF yet. And as much information that you can kind of share about it. There's also a school trips as well. did actually have a local school that I'd speak to another mum. She's a really good friend, and their class that was the same age as Alfie was going to the butterfly sanctuary, and immediately I was like, oh, that's great. And then in my head I'm thinking she wouldn't be able to go on that because of the humidity, and you know, just kind of brought it home a little bit. Alfie's recently been to the farm near us, and you know, even that, I just thought maybe I would go along to those trips to make sure that, like, she is okay, and being looked at. I don't know, but it's just so much to think about, really, and I can't really say much else on nursery information apart from what I've kind of shown. Like I say, the CF Trust website is absolutely amazing, and like I say, you can download these all on there. School admission, school attendance. So date of admission, if you get a last minute date of admission, you can put, you know, this is kind of like your proof that she's going, well, they're going in. So yeah, names of the physiotherapist, contact details, the hospital, CF dietitian, CF nurse. So literally, I'm assuming that this will all get, you know, what's the word? Like, finalised with the CF team. And that does make me feel a little bit more at ease. But yeah, it is a really difficult time, and it's a really difficult subject. And sometimes I do feel a little bit like I'm holding her back because of my own anxieties about it. But you know, we're fortunate enough as a family to not have to send her to nursery just yet. I think I will wait until she's eligible for preschool, and send her to preschool. Okay. Yeah, so it does make me feel a little bit better, knowing all of that information and reading what was on the CF Trust website, and like make it for your child, your individual child, because you know, not every CF child is the same. Obviously with like Creon doses and things like that, they're different. But actually the condition itself can be different for other children. Children might have grown bacterias and things like that, and like I say, the antibiotics and medication, and you know, some children are on like multiple nebulizers a day. Yeah, so it's definitely about communication with the school and getting them their understanding on do's and don'ts and the actual condition itself. So I really do hope that helps a little bit. I'm really sorry that I can't really say my own opinions on starting nursery yet, because we've not quite got there. Pretty sure when we get there that I'll share my experience, but do know that this is my experience and it's not the same for everyone. Thank you for watching. I hope I haven't rambled on too much, but yeah, all of the information I've spoken about is literally on the CF Trust website. So yeah.